What is up, my legion of leasers, my army of apartment maniacs? I know a lot of you are complete OGs. You've been in the business forever. Some of you might be brand new. It doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 20 years or 20 minutes. There is something that somebody should have told you about the first minute of the first day of your job as a leasing professional, as a property management, as somebody who's working with residents in multifamily. And that thing that they should have told you is this. What's your job? What's your mission? My job is to lease apartments. My job's to get renewals. Okay? We got to break it down. We got to talk about, okay, what are the fundamentals? If this was a sport, what are the rules of the sport? What are the fundamental components of our job as leasing professionals? Let me just pull some out of the ME, right? As the founder of leasinguniversity.com, the most effective training in the world, if I had to boil that down right now, if it was your first minute of your first day and you worked at my property, I would probably tell you something like this. Your job as a leasing professional is to connect with an inbound lead as soon as possible, hopefully in real time as they answer the phone. It's a great day at Meadows. What can I get you information on? Once they call, I'm picking up in 3 rings. Why is that important? That's important for 2 reasons. Number 1, if that person calls and I answer, they need help. And I'm an expert here to help them. By the way, by survey, moving is the most stressful life event. Getting a divorce and getting fired from your job are tied for number 2, second place. By survey, most stressful life event is moving. So when you know that, you realize this person is under pressure. This person is under stress. This person calling me is getting ready to make a financial decision that beats just about every other decision combined when it comes to finances. This is where they're going to spend their most money. So number 1, first step of your job, if we're laying out the rules of the game, is for you to actively respond to people that are calling you, not letting it go to voicemail. I mentioned this. Number 1 reason why you don't want to let that call go to voicemail is if they call and you answer, it's a great day at Meadows, what can I get you information on? You are the expert and they are calling you and needing help. If you let the damn calls go to voicemail, if you let the damn things turn into chat, if you let them come through as emails and you reach out to them, I'm not saying don't reach out to them if they go to voicemail. You better be calling them back. But just realize this. Matt Easton and Leasing University keeps it real. When they leave a voicemail and you call them back, you are no longer an expert. They no longer need help. You're a salesperson that's bothering them. Totally psychologically different playing field. If you call me and I answer the phone, I'm in control. If you call me and I answer the phone, I'm the expert. If you call me and I answer the phone, you're the one asking for help. If I call you, I'm bothering you, even if it's 7 seconds later. So just realize that. Number 1 component of your job is to answer all of that inbound flow. Even if you're working with a renter, I recommend still answering the phone. Hey, we're super busy here. Want to be fair to everybody. Do you mind if I grab this call so that we're giving everybody an opportunity to live here? Oh, yeah, sure, grab it. It's a great day at Meadows. What can I get you information on? Yeah, I was calling about 2 bedrooms. Awesome. My name's Matt. I'm the leasing consultant here. I'm happy to help you with that. I'm working with a client right now finishing up their lease. What's your mobile so I can give you a call when I'm finishing up here? Oh, sure. 303-803-7372. Awesome. I'll call you at your 7372 as soon as I finish up with this lease. Fair enough? Right? Be professional. Be in a hurry to help. Take advantage of the fact that anytime somebody is reaching out to you, it is an opportunity for you to get a lease. So that's the first component of your job. Okay? Pretty obvious. Where does it completely fall off the rails for the people that aren't on leasinguniversity.com? The second component of your job is not to walk through your rent specials, is not to click away at your keyboard and check availability, is not to talk about your dog park, the LEED Green certified building, your walk score, your rooftop saltwater dog wash. None of that! The second component of your job is to figure out what's that person's biggest reason for moving. If you could only ask them one question, and I teach you hundreds of questions to ask, but if you could only ask them one, just out of curiosity, what's the biggest reason for moving? Hate where I'm at right now. When you say you hate where you're at right now, walk me through it. Man, I work right across the street from you guys. I'm an hour and a half away in traffic. The other day, I almost lost my life because a car cut me off, and granted, I was eating my cereal. Probably shouldn't be eating a bowl of cereal while I'm driving to work, but that's what I have to do because I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning to make the hour and a half drive. Oh my goodness, that doesn't sound safe. No, it's not. My whole life flashed before my eyes, and I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with it because I spend half my life in the car. Man, totally get it. You know, are you opposed to swinging by before you make the drive back? Are you opposed to walking across the street from your office and checking out what we have, right? Figure out what their biggest reason for moving is. Most people don't ask that. Even people that have been through leasinguniversity.com and are certified leasing consultants forget to ask that. First part of your job, grab the inbound lead. Second part of your job, ask them what their biggest reason for moving is. Third part of your job, because of the fact that you told me blank, I'd like to recommend blank. Make a recommendation. Because of the fact that you told me you're a professional, you work from home a lot, you do a lot of Zoom calls, you'd like to have your own office, I'd like to recommend this particular floor plan. What's cool about this, it's not 2 masters. You don't have to worry about having a giant office the size of the bedroom that you're sleeping in. Okay? The cool thing about this is you can have an awesome room for you to sleep in, a huge walk-in closet for all your clothes, your own bathtub, your own shower, and then a separate bedroom that's smaller. And because of the fact that you told me you're on Zoom, this would be ideal because the window in that room is going to give you a lot of natural light as you're on those Zoom calls. Okay? Make a recommendation. Not, here's my community. Here's my pool, here's my dog park, here's my bike wash, here's my rooftop saltwater bike wash. That would get the bikes rusty. I digress. But we forget that. Our job is to, number 1, respond to the inbound lead. Number 2, figure out their reason for moving. Everybody has a different reason for moving. Figure out what it is. Number 3, make a recommendation. Because of the fact that you said XYZ, I'd like to recommend ABC. And number 4, close the damn lease by asking them if it makes sense. Not, well, we've got a rent special. If you jump on this right now, you can get $50 off your rent. Come on, TikTok, it's going fast. Hey, because of the fact that you told me you need your own office, we've got this particular floor plan. It's ideal with the mini office situation. You don't need a walk-in closet for your office. Does it make sense? And you want to be walking across the street when you go into the corporate office and not having to drive an hour and a half. Does it make sense for you to sign the lease on this apartment? When you ask somebody if something makes sense, you are not asking them to do anything. I'm going to repeat that. This is vital for you guys to understand. When you ask somebody if they think it makes sense, you're not asking them to do anything, but they can clearly see where you're headed. They can clearly see where you're going, but you're not putting pressure on them. Pressure in property management doesn't mix. I'm going to say it again. Pressure in property management does not mix. What is he talking about? I push the rent specials all the time and I get leases. You get leases despite the fact that you push the rent specials, not because of it. And by the way, if you're pushing rent specials, they're going to turn into Miss Jackson from the 90s. Janet, if you're nasty, what have you done for me lately? And when it comes renewal time, you best bring up a better special because they're not locked in. They didn't choose to move based on their reasons. Guys, people are exponentially more likely to do the thing you want them to do if it's based on their reasons, not your special, not your promotion, not because it's going to be gone if they don't grab it. Okay? So the next part of your process is to close the lease by asking if it makes sense. The final part of your leasing process is to be NSO. Next step obsessed. If the lease does not close, you are next step obsessed. If the renewal does not get signed, you are next step obsessed. That sounds like this. Hey, great to see you, Dave. I can't believe it's been 9 months already. What most people do at this point is go ahead and lock in the lease renewal so you're not having to worry about that here as we get towards the end. Does it make sense to do the lease renewal? No. Got it. What's a good next step? Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have time to do that right now. Understood. What's a good next step for me? Point the question at yourself. I don't know. I'm just really busy right now. I'm going to my kid's lacrosse game. Hey, makes perfect sense. How about we do this? It's Thursday afternoon. I'll call you tomorrow, Friday, 3 p.m. if I haven't heard from you before then, and we'll knock out the lease renewal. Fair enough? Yeah, that works. 3 p.m. So I'll actually put it in my phone. Cool. Got it. On a lease, does it, because of the fact that you told me XYZ, I'd like to recommend ABC, right? So you're not stuck in traffic for a year and a half trying to get to and from work. Does it make sense to sign the lease agreement? No. Got it. What's a good next step? Well, I want to look around. Totally get it. I want to let you know this particular unit, we've been gangbusters here. We're back to back on tours. If we lose this one while you're looking around, which is pretty high probability we will, no sweat. I'll work with you to find the next best one, and we'll go through our inventory at that point, right? Nobody wants next best. I'm not putting any pressure on you. I'll work with you. We'll find the next best thing at that time. If I don't have anything at my community, I've got some sister communities that I can recommend. If our entire portfolio is leased up, which pretty high probability it will be, I can make some recommendations to other properties a little further out, but still might be able to save you some drive time. I nerd out on this stuff. Well, I want this one. That's why I recommended we sign the lease agreement. Be next step obsessed. I don't want it. What's a good next step? I don't know. They'll tell you. Point the question at yourself. After that, they'll really tell you. What's a good next step on my end? Call me tomorrow. Perfect. Look, as long as you know I can't hold it, as long as you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. I'll call you 2 p.m. tomorrow if I haven't heard from you before then. Fair enough? What's a good next step for me? I don't know. Set a next step. Hey, totally get it. It's an important decision. Based on everything you told me, this is the ideal place for you. But again, it doesn't matter what I think. I'm not the one that has to live here. You're going to have to go to bed here every night. You're going to wake up here every morning. But what you had said about having that office and that drive to work, I think this would be ideal. How about we do this? I'll give you a call tomorrow lunchtime if I haven't heard from you before then. Guys, if you can simply respond to an inbound lead, grab it. Get a hold of it. Figure out what their biggest reason for moving is. Make a proposal because of the fact that you said blank, I'd like to recommend blank. And close without being pushy. Close by asking them if they think it makes sense. And if it doesn't close, set a next step. What do we got? 5. Answer the damn phone. Figure out their reason for moving. Make a proposal. Close the lease by asking if it makes sense, and then set a next step if it doesn't close. This is your job, and this is what they should have told you the first minute of the first day, of the first week, of the first month of your leasing career. But nobody talks about this stuff.
The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number 1. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense. Even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're gonna help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.